Welcome to Matt Bajerski YouTube channel. Get that up higher. How are you doing, guys? Welcome. So the girls at work. Oh, a bit loud. So the girls at work, the wonderful ladies at work at mattbajerski.com, receive probably about 2 or 3 messages every day concerning this particular subject. So the subject today is how to choose a crystal for yourself or for your friends, for your loved ones, for your family. So yeah, I guess it can't be done in 2 minutes, but we can certainly do a little workshop now if you like. If you want to do that, let's do it. First of all, it's taken me a while to understand the art of choosing crystals. And after so long, you realize the crystal chooses you, which means that there's no effort really needed. And it finds its way to you, the right one. So that eases kind of like the fear and the worry that you chose the right crystal. But let's break it down first of all. I think we need to look at all the aspects of this. So let me have a quick drink. Please subscribe to Matt Bajerski Crystals channel after this, and then you can see lots of other crystals being spoken about and other things like this all about crystals. We're on day, I think 31 now. Is it 32? 31 or 32. I've got 32 more days. If I'm a naughty boy, they're going to take all this channel down with 1,400 videos. So I'm trying my best to not say anything that is too detrimental towards this side. Okie dokie. All right, so first of all, as a crystal healer, I used to have over 50 crystals in my bag. It's not here, but I had a bag. Sometimes I had 100 crystals in, depending. So when you understand that as a healer, as a crystal healer, you have tools in your bag, just like a vet, a doctor, a mechanic has different tools for different issues. So you as a human being, and you're not just one crystal that will, there's not just one crystal that will heal you, because there's so many different aspects of the healing process of your journey. So that's always something to bear in mind before you even start this. So take, for instance, I meet somebody. What is the first thing I'm going to work upon? Well, if they're bleeding, I'm going to stitch them, right? I'm going to clean the wound and stitch them. That's the first thing. Once that's all done, then you start to look at other things, right? Why did you start bleeding? And okay, because you're a bit crazy and you like to run through bushes naked. Okay, so there's something wrong mentally. Okay, so now you need another crystal for that, and then you understand. Okay, so we've got a crystal that to slow them down a little bit. So now we need another crystal, because now we're going to the root cause of why they like to be naked and run through bushes and what have you, and then cut themselves. So now you get to the root. So you go through a process. So what you see initially is the first thing that needs to be resolved, and then the second thing, and then the third thing. So the root cause could be the reason why you like to undress is because maybe you had an issue as a child, and your mother and father were pretty frigid, and they didn't ever take their clothes off, and they didn't want you to, and they always kept you, and you thought, I'm taking these clothes off. Just like I am when I have a bath. I have a bath as high as I can, so it's nearly coming off the edge. People say, why do you have a bath like that? I says, because I can. Because I couldn't when I was a kid, because my dad says you're not having that much more in your bath. And I'm saying, well, what's the point of having such a big bath then? We're saving on water. Okay. Why do I leave my coffee most of the time? Why don't I drink it all? Because I can. Why is that? Because I got deep-rooted issues, trauma, because my dad used to, make me drink everything, So it was like, I can leave it. So I want to leave it. I want to leave some. So it's my trauma I need to fix. So these things that we need to heal. Okay. So that's the first thing you need to get into your head. First 5 minutes is every single human being has multiple traumas, blocks, issues. So I want to buy my partner a beautiful crystal. Can you choose one? Well, I can, but one crystal isn't going to fix everything. It might fix one particular part, whether it's the physical, whether it's the emotional or the mental, or just your energetic field. And there's so many other reasons why. So I'm not saying, what I am actually trying to say is, I'm not trying to confuse you. What I'm trying to say is that a crystal, when you choose for a friend or a client or yourself, you're choosing it for the moment, which is the most important thing that needs healing. But then from then on, there's other things that might need healing. So once that crystal's done its work, you give them another crystal or give yourself another crystal, and it works on a different aspect of your spiritual journey or your physical journey. Does that make sense? So when you, right, so put that out of the way now. Okay, so now you know that. Ooh, okay, I feel better now. So it's not just one crystal. One crystal to rule them all. No, it's just beautiful. Okay, so now that we're at the point where, okay, so we're relaxed now, because whatever crystal, we can always choose another one and another one and another one. So we can relax now. It's not too much pressure. Oh, I need to get the best one. I need to get the strongest one. No, you don't. The crystal will choose them, and it'll choose them through you. There's different aspects here. I don't cold read, but you do know somebody better than I do, right? So if you're choosing for your partner, what do you see with your partner predominantly that you would like for him to feel better, or for her to feel better, or your child to feel better? So let's take, for instance, me. If you're choosing for me, I'd like to see Mark tell a joke instead of tell really bad jokes. So what we're going to do is try and find a crystal that heightens his happiness and his awareness, and helps his brain become a little bit more balanced. Okay, so there's that aspect. So what would I do? Well, markbajerski.com has a search bar. So when you go into the shop, you type in happiness, and you'll see all the crystals for happiness. So that's one way of doing it. Okay, so let's just say your cousin has got an issue with their eyes. You type in eyes and all the crystals will come up. So that gives you at least a choice of crystals. That's one way. For me, what I do, so if I'm, like for now, if I'm choosing for, say, my daughter, China, right? I'll sit here, okay? So you can try this yourself. Who is it you're choosing for? Yourself? Doesn't matter. If you're choosing for yourself or somebody that you love, sit down, close your eyes, okay? Now visualize a seat next to you. It's empty. Visualize the room. It's empty. It's pure white, okay? So everything's white in the room. So you're sat here, and you're now going to invite the person that you're buying a crystal for to come along and sit down. Okay? So now what you're going to do is smile at them and start to visualize a color around them. And what happens is you'll start to see a color. So I'm visualizing for my daughter now, and I'm seeing orange. Lots of orange. Okay, so now I've got my first clue to what crystal is good for my daughter. It's an orange crystal. That's what I'm looking for now. So I would think about all the orange crystals, and I'm different from you because maybe I know a lot more about orange and orange crystals. So the first thing that comes into my thought is orange calcite. Beautiful crystal. What does orange calcite do? Well, if you look on my website and look under orange, it gives you all the information. So you go, wow, okay, that makes sense. Because a lot of the times it makes sense. But here's the crunch to all of this. Sometimes it doesn't make any sense. But that's the whole point. Because sometimes we don't see something. So we don't have to be a genius. We don't have to have this, oh, I am a crystal healer, so I know best. No, sometimes I'm shocked at what crystals I choose for clients But then they come back and say, oh my God, Mark, you chose this crystal for me and it's absolutely what I needed, and I didn't even know until this happened. So spirit is very clever, and the problem we have, all of us have this lack of trust in our intuition that spirit gives. Imagine, right? Imagine, remember Ghost? Whoopi Goldberg and talking to the ghost, right? But imagine you're trying to speak to somebody as a ghost and tell them something, and they just don't listen, they don't hear. Well, this is how it feels, I think, to the spirit world, because we choose to ignore, or we feel that we're not good enough with our choice. Most of the time, without even realizing, if we're not in the brain and we just flow and just feel, spirit gives us the message. The problem we have is that we tend to, I'll give you for instance, a great example. Okay, I'm thinking about my next door neighbor, right? Iris. Okay, I'm going to choose a crystal for Iris. I've just picked one up. Okay, this is for Iris. And I will go and take this around to Iris as a gift, right? Okay, why did I choose this crystal? Because it was the first thing I saw and felt out of all of these crystals, okay? Now, this is where we all go wrong. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have got that. Maybe she should have something else. Maybe I should have thought about it a bit more. Maybe I should give her the pink petalite. Or maybe the Siberian, beautiful Siberian quartz. You see? The brain kicks in and tries to fool you or ruin it for you. This was the choice. There is no other reason. The reason is that that's what I chose, because it was the first natural feeling to go for that crystal. And I've got to trust in that, because the moment you lose trust in what you've just done, your brain kicks in to try and compensate and say, okay, I'm here now, I'm here to the rescue. The brain doesn't rescue anything. The only thing the brain does is help you across the road when you look left and right. That's all the brain's for, okay? But when you go with your intuition, when you go with your gut instinct, when you go with that just feeling, just to grab it and take it, you don't need the reason why. It's not necessary. When people say to me, why did you choose that? I say, I don't know. Well, I thought you were a crystal healer. Well, I am a crystal healer. Well, surely you should know what you're choosing. No, that's your brain wanting me to tell you. But I have confidence. I have trust. I believe my whole heart that what I've chosen for you is the exact crystal you need. Don't need to know why. I don't need to know how. I just trust that feeling that I needed to take that crystal there and then, and I do not disrupt that feeling. I do not contaminate it. I do not toxify it with my brain kicking in, trying to put ego and, oh, I need to do this because my brain tells me and I need to know exactly what's wrong. Nah. Just shut up a minute, mate. Nothing to do with you today. This is all about flowing and trusting. So this is going to go around to Iris. This is red jasper. Fantastic. So I'll take that to her as a gift. Why did I just do that? No idea. Why did I mention next door neighbor? No idea. It just happened. It was just a thought. But I trust that thought. And I know she needs that crystal. No idea why. And I'm not questioning it. I just know that what was given to me right then was the right thing to do. And I follow through. Most of us don't. Most of us stop ourselves from moving forward. Most of us question what we did as a spirit. So you can imagine your spirit screaming, saying, why do you contaminate such a beautiful action and moment and connection with a brain that kicks in and stops you from doing everything because, oh, maybe I shouldn't, maybe I'm making a mistake, maybe, ah! I learned to shoot. Go on, shoot, brain. That's how I choose crystals. So sometimes I just get this feeling, that's the crystal I'm going to go for. Sometimes I'll scroll And sometimes I'll go to the office and just pull out different drawers and, whoa, that's the one. You don't know what you're doing, do you, Mark? You're just making this up. That's what the brain tells you. But when you realise this is far more intense, it's far more spiritual, it's far more divine, it's far more magical. When you realise that, you learn to clear the mind. You learn to tell the mind to shut up, take a holiday, and let me do the work. That's not you. That's a tool. And I trust me. So Mark, what do you think to this person? I've no idea, but that feels right there. So you see, this kind of work is very unsuitable for the brain people. So when you're in the brain, this is never going to work. Never. Because I go on feeling, I go on to trust, I go into intuition, I go inside and feel what feels right. Not knowing why, because I don't need to know why. Why do I need to know why? You see, I've learned something very important. X never marks the spot. When you think somebody's upset for a reason and you're trying to work it out in the brain, it's normally the last thing that you could even think about. It's a bit like when somebody steals from you in an office. Your brain kicks in. It's normally the last person that you thought it was. You never even guessed it was that person. Same thing. Just shut up. You've no idea. Let it go. Follow your gut instinct and just flow, and everything will be fine. And that's how I do it. I mean, I started first of all with the sitting down in the seat, seeing somebody next to me in a white room, seeing the colour that goes around them. That's a great thing. Then I went on to a little bit deeper. I started to go inside their heart and start to look at their body, see if there's anything that needs healing. So, okay, the stomach looks a little bit dodgy. So if I'm looking at my daughter now, maybe you need to cleanse and clear and detox your stomach a little bit. Therefore, I go on to Bajerski.com, on the search bar, detox, stomach, tummy, and then crystals will come up. I won't choose that way. I'll scroll and see, oh, that one. And you know, have you ever walked into, and I often use this because it's a brilliant analogy of how to choose and how things choose you. If you ever go into an art gallery and you walk around an art gallery, you can walk around it and appreciate all the art, and then all of a sudden, boom, one picture just does something to your energy. That's the picture for you at that moment. Now, go away from that art gallery and come back to that art gallery in a year's time and go around the same art gallery with the same stuff. And all of a sudden, something will go boom, but it won't be the same picture. And the reason why is because your energy changes, your feelings change, and things that inspire you and colours that are good for you, like the colours that you wear, everything changes. So that is another way to look at crystals. So everything changes in its moment. So one week I can wear, I don't know, Moldavite. Another week I can wear Tektite. Another week I can wear Herkimer Diamond. Another week I can wear Sleeping Beauty. Another week I can have, I don't know, Pyrite. And all the time it changes. Oh, this week I feel I need, or this day, or this hour, or this moment, because there's no such thing as space and time. Everything is changing. Our body changes, and crystals amplify, blast, heal, strengthen, cleanse, clean, detox. Our body is always moving. It's always changing, and there's always something to be done in all aspects of our life. So I hope this little 20-minute workshop about how to choose a crystal serves you well. On a final note, Soon as you've chosen a crystal, don't think about it anymore. Wrap it, pack it, send it with love, because the crystal will do its work, not you. Okay? You send your love, and most importantly, soon as you've made that decision, trust in that decision with all your heart and know inside that that was the right one you chose, that chose you to be able to give to somebody else. And when somebody says, why did you choose that? Just say, it just felt right. And that's it. No need for explanation. Let the crystal do its work. From my heart to your heart, have a beautiful day. Enjoy markbajerski.com and the crystals, and also please support your local crystal store. Take care.